Fantastic. I think this is such a good lineup Ping have got. Okay, welcome back to the channel everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Penrith Golf Hub. We're carrying on the theme of the Ping G425 launch, and this particular video we're going to concentrate on the fairway woods. So lots of videos coming your way with the G425 launch. We've done drivers there on the channel. The rest of the clubs are going to be coming. We've got hybrids, we've got crossover, we've got irons. If they have not landed as yet, they will be coming very, very soon, so do stay tuned. But this particular video will concentrate on the fairway woods. We've got a couple of options to look at here. We've got TrackMan on the floor. We're going to hit it, we're going to test it, we're going to provide you some data and also my personal feedback of these particular fairway woods. So Ping fairway woods, for me, they've been a fantastic fairway wood. I think one of the easiest to launch fairway woods on the market. So I'm interested to see what they've done with the G425. Hopefully they haven't gone away from that too much. And by the first impressions of the looks, it does look a very similar sort of head profile that we've seen in previous models. There is some subtle differences of what's happened. Some good talking points to obviously discuss and go through. We've got three options here. We've got the G425 Max head. We've got the LST, so the low spin 3-wood, and then we've got the SFT, which is the draw bias. So this video, we're going to focus on the Max and the LST. We're going to hit both of those and provide you with some numbers and some feedback. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Max first. So this is probably going to be the most popular option for a lot of golfers, most forgiving option. We've got some adjustability in the club head, and first impressions, and first thing that jumps out, we've lost turbulators. So we have now got no turbulators in the fairway woods. So it is very clean head. It's a matte black finish. We've just got three small sort of circles which are alignment aids, and that is it on the club face. The club head, and I think it looks great, to be honest. It is a bit strange looking at a Ping driver without turbulators now. It's just very, very clean. It's just a very nice sort of shape looking head. And again, we've got the Max, so it is a fraction towed in on that address position, slightly closed. Okay, let's get this first one underway. Okay, and that felt lovely. Again, that is flown up and away very, very easily. A little bit off, so a little bit of a fade to the right, but nothing too dramatic. Again, it's that typical sort of Ping sound that we're getting. You know, it's a little bit on the louder side. We know we've hit it. It gives you that explosive sort of feedback. Okay, and that one was a little bit off the bottom, and that's probably going to bring me to the first bit of technology that Ping are really sort of pushing and as difference in with this new G25. So we've got what we call a wrap face now. So this massaging steel, this very high strength steel, is now wrapping around the bottom and around the top. So we've got more of it. Okay, and it creates more of a flex. So not only is the club face flexing, but the crown and the sole are also flexing as well. So obviously as that gives and flexes, it's obviously going to create more ball speed. And that is across the entire face is what Ping are saying. And the other big talking point here, and this is quite an interesting one, is what Ping are calling spin consistency. So what we typically would find, and this is one of the reasons why I test a lot of fairway woods in my reviews off the ground, because that's typically where a lot of golfers would strike the ball low in the club face, and we all know if we strike it in low in the club face, the ball climbs, it spins a lot. It's a very weak ball flight, isn't it? What Ping are doing here now is they're changing the sort of curvature of the face. So we know we always have that sort of roll and bulge on a club face with woods, and this is no different. But what Ping are saying now is when they get to the bottom of the club face now, it's a more sharper sort of return. So basically there's less loft in the bottom part of this club face. So sometimes that would initially think, oh God, there's less loft there. We know when we hit off the bottom, it launches a little bit low. If there's less loft there, that's going to come out too low. And it does come out a little bit lower on those bottom hits is what Ping was saying. And this is a good little example of that last one I've just hit. But obviously with less loft, we're going to have less spin. So we're trying to get, the Ping is trying to control that spin. So even though it's going to come out, we can't get away from that because we've struck it low in the club face. It's going to come out low, but with less spin, it's going to keep going forward. So potentially you're going to still get that distance there, and also then that rollout when it comes into land. Yeah, again, feels very, very solid. You know, we've got the Max, we've got a weighted screw in that back section. Obviously that isn't changeable in any way, that is a fixed position. We've got the forged wrap, as we just talked about there. It's a forged maraging steel in that wrap, creating that bit of flex on that club face. That's a good strike, that's probably the best strike there. That's a lovely flight, it really looks like it's going forward there as well. 153 on that ball speed, good launch there, just under that 12-degree mark. 260 on that carry, that was a great strike, that last one. So again, adjustability wise, we've got the neck sleeve there, so we can move that loft up and down. We've got flat lie settings in there as well to help, which I always think is a great setting for certain golfers who have that left miss in there. Just pop it into that flat lie setting, it really does help to take that left part of the golf course out of the equation. Oh, it's lovely. Fantastic. I think this is such a good lineup Ping have got. G425, very impressive. It feels very solid. That feels as easy as what we've seen previous fairway woods, which again, I'm always a massive fan of. I've seen so many good success stories through fittings of golfers struggling sometimes with 3-wood off the ground. You know, pop a Ping 3-wood in their hands and they just seem to get that ball up and away so much easier. And I'm just pleased that they haven't gone away from that too much. Obviously adding a little bit of technology in there as well is always a good thing. Okay, so what's available in the Max fairway wood? So we've got 3-wood, a 5-wood, a 7-wood and a 9-wood in there as well. The old 9-wood is making a bit of a comeback. So there's quite a few different sort of loft options there to sort of really sort of work into. So the other great little feature that you've got in Ping clubs now is the RCOS system in the grip. So it comes as standard in the butt of the grip now. So obviously you can track your shots when you're out on that golf course, look at your patterns and everything like that. Okay, so LST version now. So as we know, that stands for low spin technology. And basically the big difference here is the compactness of the head now. It's just gone a little bit more squat in that, especially from that front to the back section of the head compared to the Max. So obviously that's going to allow the CG placement to try and move more forward and closer to the club face, which is going to create a little bit less spin. Again, looking at the sole of the club, we've got the weighted screw in the back section there. We've got obviously the same set of technology in the face wrap, the spin consistency technology in that bottom section of the club. But again, a very similar shape. Obviously the compactness is clearly there to see. It's a little bit more of a squat head, but the actual shaping, the matte black finish is exactly the same as you see in the Max. So it's a good looking club. And for me, it just sits that little bit more square at that address position compared to the Max. Okay, and again, nice opening shot there with that LST. Sound is very, very similar to what we've just seen with the Max. I think I quite like it, actually. I mean, I was always a fan of the turbulators, and I think they're always a bit like Marmite in a way, weren't they? You know, a lot of golfers didn't like turbulators. It was a bit too fussy on the top. I personally quite liked it because of the way they were sort of angled. It did sort of frame the golf ball. And this is what Ping was saying maybe in the fairway woods. It ended up being a bit more of an alignment aid more than creating actual aerodynamics because of the head shape was changing. Size of the head compared to obviously the driver. There wasn't as much of a gain with the turbulators there, so that's one of the reasons where they've just had a bit of a fresh look in this fairway wood and gone a little bit more clean and just with those 3 little dots on the top. And I do quite like it, to be honest. I just like that cleaner, but at the same time I did like the turbulators, to be honest. Oh, that's that one a little bit low in the face, and that's flown fantastically well. Definitely feel that strike off that bottom. Interested to see what that spin number there. Yeah, it's obviously gone up at 3.6 there. A little bit high on that spin number on that particular strike. Very tough to control those, I always think. Good thing there, it hasn't actually dropped much from that first shot, to be honest, has it? Consistency wise, it's still pretty straight. And there was a slight toe shot. What I'm sort of feeling a little bit straight away there, I've probably not struck those as great as the Max, but definitely starting to feel a little bit more twist in there. So clearly to me, that's just sort of showing me it's not quite as forgiving as you'd expect, you know, with that weight being a little bit further forward to the head. There's always a compromise, isn't there? As you try and lose low spin, there's always a compromise, sometimes a little bit of forgiveness. Just sort of feel a little bit more twisting in the head on those slight miss hits compared to that Max. There's no twist on that one, that was crunched. That was probably the best strike of the lot there with the LST. Probably get a little bit more out of that, yeah. Okay, we'll hit one more shot and then we'll go and look at a few numbers. Oh, That's a good strike as well. Really good flight on that. Excellent. I like that. I like the whole range. It's a very, very good, strong range. Feels good, feels solid. Numbers look pretty good as well, but we'll go and check those out a little bit more detail now. Okay, so let's look at those numbers there. So we've got the Max on the bottom and the LST on the top. So you can see club head speed, very identical, literally just 0.8 of a mile an hour difference of those batch of shots between them. You can see ball speed was actually a little bit quicker with the Max there at 152.5 against 151.3. Not a huge amount of difference in it, to be honest. I think I did catch that third shot there with the LST. That was that low. Oh no, that was a slight sort of toey one I got on there. So you just dropped off a little bit of that ball speed, just pulled that average down fractionally. Launch angle very, very similar there. And spin, you can see 3287 against 3760. So good 500 revs, or just short of 500 revs, sort of lower with the LST there, as you sort of expect to sort of see with that type of head that we're seeing. Distance-wise, though, very, very similar. So it's not a lot of difference of that distance there, just a bit of difference of that spin and how it sort of flies through the air. Okay, everybody, so there we go. There's G425 Fairway woods, LST and the Max. Again, it's a cracking lineup from Ping. I think they seem to be very, very easy to sort of launch. You've got some different head types there, depending on the golfer that you are and the way you deliver the club. We've got obviously the adjustability through the neck sleeve, so you can dial that loft in. We can work that lie angle in terms of your particular shape of shot as well. And of course, plenty of shaft options and grip options to go again through that fitting process. And that's what I'd always recommend to you as viewers: is go and get fit, go and try it. Measure it, compare it against something else as well. Obviously compare it with what you've got at the moment. That's always a big thing. And, you know, obviously just give it a really good test. And if it's right for you, happy days, isn't it? Okay, post comments down below, let me know your thoughts. G425, very strong range from Ping again. Big thumbs up from me on that side of things. So as I say, the other videos are going to be coming your way very, very soon. If not, they'll be on the channel now. So we've got the hybrid, we've got the crossover, and also got the irons, and the driver is already on the channel as we speak. Okay, appreciate you watching the videos as always. If you've enjoyed it and you haven't subscribed, please just consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, share the video around. Most importantly, comment down below, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.